Hello folks and welcome to the Vertigo Tea Party, and let's try Action Henk. Not Hank, that's a totally different game. It's developed by Rage Squid. You can pick it up on Steam for Windows, Linux, or Mac for $14.99. You can get the full soundtrack edition, which as you might imagine comes with the soundtrack and the game, for $19.99, or you can get a 2-pack of the game for you and your friend for $24.99, which I don't think comes with the soundtrack. You might want to double check that if you're interested. It also supports, wait for it, multiplayer, cross-platform multiplayer, Steam achievements, full controller support, trading cards, workshop, Steam Cloud, leaderboards, and a level editor. So, wow, a lot of stuff in here. And we'll be looking at quite a few of those things, though we'll be focusing mostly on the single player. So let's go ahead and jump right in. I'm going to play a little bit of various stages here, as you can see the kinds of levels. Now, this is the first game that I would want to compare this to, if I were to compare it to anything, would be Trials. It's not as difficulty physics-based as Trials can be. So far, the stages have been easy to complete. But it's not about completion, it's about getting the gold, or in this case, rainbow awards. Rainbow is the step above gold, of course. How could you not know that? So we're going to pick an opponent. Now the opponent isn't really an opponent per se, it just shows a ghost, so that you know if you beat that ghost, you'll get that medal. So for example, I usually when I'm first playing the stage, I'll pick silver. And if I beat this ghost, I will get a silver. So this game is a lot about butt sliding and jumping and physics. A lot of physics. So a lot of my initial time here has been trying to learn just how the physics work in this game so that I can exploit them and get the fastest time that I can, because as I said before, it's not just about I screwed that up. It's not about yeah, I messed that up bad. I haven't played this stage in a while. It's not about just beating the stage. That's easy. It's about beating the ghosts in here and beating other people that you know. So what's one cool thing here is, and let's play it through it again here. You can quickly restart it just by hitting B. I'm using a controller, by the way. You can use a keyboard. I started off using a keyboard. It's passable, but I would probably suggest using the controller in this case. But again, I don't think it's absolutely necessary. But if you are really wanted to get the #1 scores, probably better with the keyboard, not to say, or with the controllers, not to say that it's impossible to do so with the keyboard, but I just think it was easier. Now, I want to cover some of the basics of the physics, and we'll pick another stage just to kind of show you some different stages. Oops, let's do this. I'm going to switch a hero. You also have different heroes that you can choose as well. I meant switch to a different stage. Anyway, the theme kind of is it's the 80s. You've got a lot of these 80s toys and a lot of references to being a young kid and building these tracks that I know I used to build these areas for my G.I. Joes, or I don't think people really do the G.I. Joe thing anymore. It kind of points my age out. But regardless, you can see there's various references. This is one of my favorites. When we run underneath the bed, it's got the dark eyes, because as a child, you of course know that your bed is just absolutely ridden with horrible monsters. We're actually going to restart that because I forgot that. Now, there is a bit of memorization that goes on with the various stages to really maximize them. That's okay. For the most part, it can be a little tedious for someone like, well, me, who has a terrible memory. And it means just having to redo them again because, oh, I forgot about this one part. And I just keep messing that part up. It's okay because I missed the boost. But let's talk a little bit about the physics. Now, jumping generally slows you down, so usually you don't want to do it. There's obviously running, which is, normal. There's the butt slide, which makes you go faster, usually when you're going down. I keep missing that speed boost. But generally, you only want to slide when you're going down. Man, why can I not hit this today? I promise I got gold on most of these. But yeah, the slide you generally only want to do when you're going down. And again, you usually only want to jump when you absolutely have to. But as with everything, there are exceptions. Sometimes you do want to jump, even when you don't have to. Again, I missed that. Even when you don't have to, because you can get a little boost. So for example, let's do this. There we go. Should beat this ghost pretty easily. This is only the silver ghost. So, it's not a big deal. And I don't know if you've noticed the floor when we jump over it. In fact, I'm going to mess up here on purpose so you can see. that the floor is in fact lava. So again, a lot of kids references, a lot of like other references in the background. You'll see there's a Jaws reference. You can see right there the Top Gun. It says Action Henk. It's fun. Part of the fun of these levels is when you're kind of watching your own replays, or if you're watching somebody else play, trying to pick out the various references that are in the background. And the tracks are pretty varied. We're gonna finish this track and then move on to the next stage. You can again kind of see the variety in the tracks. But there's a pretty good variety in the types of track. This is kind of the basic stuff. And all of these stages, like I said, are kind of beginner stuff. And you can see here, what's cool is that it pulls your friends who have this game from Steam, and it shows their times. As you can see, I'm better than my friends. They are terrible. But you can also hit RB and see where you stand globally. On this track, I'm at 246. Now, here's one thing I really like. So let's say there's a way. I've beaten 91% of players, too. Nice. I am amazing. So let's say you want to see this person's. Let's see. Hold on. Top 10. Here we go. Let's say I want to see how this person does it. So let's go over here and let's say we can show this ghost of our friends who have done it, which is cool. Or they can do vice versa. So once we've beat it, they're like, oh, how did you beat it by 2 seconds? They can go in here, find you, and let's take a look at Kart Gaming. Since we beat him, I don't want to shame myself. So, and again, there's little nuances that I really like picking up, but we can kind of see what he's doing. Another nice thing that helps you learn is that it will actually show. I'm going to wait. I'm going to get behind him here. You can see when he jumps, you'll see a little diamond. See that? So you can see when they jump, and it's you can also kind of see when they slide, but depending on where they are, it can actually be kind of hard to tell when they're sliding. But when they jump, they give the obvious little diamond, which is really useful because normally you think, oh, it's pretty obvious to tell when they jump. It's not always as obvious as you think it might be. So let's actually skip out of this stage. Go to level select, and let's switch to another section here. And it does keep track of your medals. As you can see up here, I've gotten the gold on all of these, and it shows your personal best time on the right-hand side. And let's go to this one. This is kind of the same theme. So let's actually skip over to the fever. This is where the theme really starts to mix it up. Now the rainbow, this is the only track I have a rainbow on. Rainbow, you really have to have your stuff together. I'm not necessarily very good at these physics racing games. So I actually had to do this one quite a few times to get rainbow, and I barely got it. Let's try gold first. Again, of course, I don't remember this stage, so I have to kind of relearn it. But there's a lot of little things. Like, for example, there jumping at the bottom of that hill can be useful. It gives you a little bit of a speed boost. And a lot of this stuff you figure out from watching other ghosts. You see I'm kind of jumping at the end there. This stage took me a while to kind of get to learn as well. But I have actually I've learned quite a few things about using and learning the physics from watching the rainbow and the gold runners. And it's made me a better player in general. I helped making it easier to get those gold. Now, the rainbows are still very difficult. Like I said, I've only got the one. You see, I just beat the gold. You can sit here and watch your own replay. You can also use your own ghost if you want. Your personal best, so you can actually see how you're doing versus your own best time, see where you're losing time, etc. Of course, you can have no ghost as well if you want. You can turn that off. But let's go ahead and do the world champion. Let's be humiliated by whoever it is that has the highest. This is probably going to be ugly. But again, the nice thing here is you can actually learn from them by watching them. See, he's already... I forgot about that. The high road's actually faster. Forgot about that. Yeah, there's often like multiple paths. And you'll see there that he jumped and he's jumping there. Depending on how fast you're going, jumping can be useful. And that's one of the things, one of the intricacies of learning the game that I think is pretty neat. Is that generally you don't want to jump. But sometimes you want to. Like, for example, if there's a slide coming up, and maybe if there's a ramp up and a ramp down to that slide before you get there, you might want to jump early so that you land and slide right into the ramp and get a speed boost. Let's try this again. We're not going to come anywhere near being able to beat this guy. But I played this one quite a bit, which, you'd think I'd learn how to play it by now. I missed it again. I like how quickly you can restart. You just hit B. There's no waiting. It just kicks right to it. Which I really enjoy. Alright, so we're up here. We're only 0.6 seconds behind him. I mean, we're going to be at... See, and again, he jumped there because I keep forgetting. That gives you a little bit of boost. And again, you can see each time he jumps. one thing that I learned that I'm going to show you now, I'm not going to worry too much about beating the ghost, but one thing I've learned is jumping off that little ledge can give you a little bit of boost. Now I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let's jump this. Where is it? It's there. That's when I always miss. Let me try it one more time. I always forget about that ledge. No matter how many times I play this, I get that mixed up. We'll take the high road here because it is faster. Short jumps better generally. And again, I always forget to jump there. And boom, if you jump there, it gives you a little bit of speed boost. The game doesn't really tell you much anything. There's some little hints and stuff at the beginning that, like, during your loading screens, it'll say some stuff. Some of it's fairly self-explanatory. It'll say things like don't slide uphill or on neutral ground. That's wow, that's actually a new personal best. That's hard to believe. But they'll say things like, you know, don't slide on neutral up or going up, which is, you know, pretty self-explanatory. But again, sometimes you do want to do that. It's one of those things that you kind of have to experiment with. And like I say, watch Ghosts to kind of learn the nuances. For those who are really into kind of honing not only the way the physics in the game work, but honing specific levels and getting the best time you can, this is going to be pretty addictive. I don't consider myself to be that type of person, but yet I find myself playing these levels over and over again, trying to get the best time. I haven't played any of these, actually, oddly enough. I was trying to unlock a bunch of different stages so you could see the different themes in it. Let's go ahead. And I always like to start with silver when I very first do a stage. What in the world? Press X to hook. Oh, geez. Oh, okay. Not PlayStation X, the Xbox X. And like I said, I am using the... Okay, so you have to hold it to swing. Okay, now this is interesting because I hadn't even seen this mechanic. So this could actually be fun. I'm wondering if there's actually other ones. And obviously, I'm not using it ultra efficiently at this moment. And I do like how it tells you at each checkpoint how far away you are. Ooh, man, it sucks you up really fast, too. That's throwing me off a bit. Don't want to fall on the floor because that's lava. Somehow I beat silver. Let's try... We'll go to the next stage. Again, trying to show you as much variety as you can with the various stages. And I'm wondering what other mechanics they have other than the swing. This is the only, like supplementary thing I've seen. But see, again, right there, I wish I could... Wait, can you pause it? Yeah, let's do this. I kind of want to show you something here. Now, if you look here, and I'm gonna not... I keep wanting to point at the screen. But if you look at the bottom right there, you see a ramp going down. Now, typically you think, oh, just land and run and slide down the ramp. But if you can time it so you hook and then kind of butt slide right as the slide is going down, this is going to give you a little bit of bonus speed. In fact, I bet if we switch gold, there's no rainbow. That's weird. I wonder if maybe rainbow only opens up on certain things. Now, see, he just skipped it entirely. But, and even the game will tell you this, gold doesn't necessarily mean it's doing it the most optimal way. I think that's interesting. I think that's very interesting that the gold sometimes take a less, like a suboptimal way, but it's still pretty fast. I think that's pretty cool, actually. So that you can, again, if you can figure out a better way to go around, then you can do that. But, like I say, I'm definitely not typically the type who's going to play a stage over and over and over again to try to beat the time. However, again, I've really found myself doing that. These other stages, I went over and over and over again trying to beat it. Especially this one I got the rainbow medal on. Like, that one took me probably at least 20 to 30 minutes. Which, like I say, normally I'm like, okay, I got gold, that's good enough. But I actually have been... It's fun trying to learn the various things. Like, oh, if I jump here, I can land on the slide, and that gives me a little bit extra momentum, and I'll fall, and that'll give me that 0.25 seconds faster. I really enjoyed that. There are sort of like boss fights that you basically race against other dolls, because obviously you're like a little action figure. I don't know if you saw like the screws in their arms and whatnot. But if you beat these guys, it unlocks the next area, and it unlocks you the ability to play as those toys, which I don't think there's any like benefits. Like, I don't think one toy like jumps higher or runs slightly faster with momentum or anything like that. I think it's just entirely cosmetic. Ooh, see, I screwed that up. I lost air, or I got air when I should have just been maximizing my butt slide. And again, some of these stages you're not going to beat on the first try, or at least, you know, whoever you're racing on the first try. But, and then again, I find this to be handy. Sometimes I do wish you could, like, go forward and back. Like, while you're watching the replay, move the camera around, pause it, go back, go forward to kind of see it. It's not a big deal that it doesn't have that, though. And that's got a new personal best. Nice. So there are those little boss fights. There's also these. Now, I'm not really a fan of these bonus levels. Basically, the idea is that you are going to grab all these coins, but you have to do it in a certain time frame. And generally, the idea here is it's kind of like a puzzle. You have to find out the optimal way to get them to fall within the time limit. Because as you can see at the top there, the time limit is pretty tight. And I'm just kind of screwing around now. But I'm going to see if I remember how to do this. I think this is how I did this. We're not going to do it completely, but because I did beat this one eventually, but it took me quite a while. I'm not really a fan of these, to be honest. They can be a little tedious, but my experience might not be yours. We'll try one more time. I think you get the idea of how this works. But it's kind of cool that these are kind of figuring out the optimal way to get the coins, even though it feels like there's probably only really one or two ways to get them within the time frame. That might not be accurate, but that's the way it kind of feels. Nope, I had to get up there. So you can see I just missed that one coin that gave me a lot of hell. But we'll go ahead and exit out of here. Now when you beat those are optional. Those are completely optional. You don't need to do that. But it unlocks various skins. So speaking of, let's play and then let's switch our hero. You had different heroes and you had different skins. So you have Henk, which is just the base. But you also have Swan Henk. I like that you can see his man nipples through the sheer ballerina dress. That's wonderful. We have Betsy. She's got corporate Betsy, where she's swinging phones around, which is my favorite. The regular Betsy, who's got a horrific grin and a bunch of dumbbells, which I guess she wants that extra challenge when she's running to carry those dumbbells. We have Knockout Betsy, who's got the boxing gloves, and we have Gabber Betsy, who is absolutely terrifying. And then I've also unlocked Neil. I don't have any skins for Neil, and there's also a few hidden characters that I have not unlocked. And again, I think that these are purely skins. And let's go ahead and play as her. And let's look at Spooky Times. Let's do a stage or two in Spooky Times, just so you can see this last one. But I have to say, when I first was seeing this game, I was like, you know, not really. Is all right, I guess. Doesn't look like something I'll really be into, but I'm going to give it a try. I've really enjoyed it. I kind of, like I said, I'm just surprised at how much I actually enjoyed running the stage over and over again, just trying to beat that level. And having the ghosts is awesome. And I know this is not like the first game that's done it. Even Mario, one of the Mario Karts had it. So it's not like it's a new thing, right? Oops. That's good. I keep hitting the wrong button. I'm so used to restarting the race. But I know that's been around for quite a while, the whole racing against a ghost. But one, it's excellent they have it in here. Two, it's awesome that they have it so that you can see like whoever's got the highest, or you can see your own friends if you don't really care about world records. You just want to beat your friends, because really that's what matters, right? Beating your friends. You can see their ghosts, and it does that extra bonus of showing the jump data, so that you're just like, oh, okay, I see how to do this. Let's restart that. I love this Halloween theme, by the way. And the music in the game is quite good too. I realize I've probably been babbling over it the whole time, so you can't really tell. But the music's pretty good as well. I particularly like this Halloween music. It's like the whole Halloween theme, let's be honest. I like the big tentacles in there and all this other stuff that's 100% definitely not just in your imagination. I completely went the wrong way. I want to at least try to beat this stage. And see again what I'm talking about. You can run and slide, or if you do a little jump. Well, let's compare how we are to the ghost. I know the ghost can be kind of hard to see. We're like pretty much right on the same there. Let's see if we, aha, see? Now, if I jump onto it and jump at the end, I've got a little bit of extra speed on him. That, again, I love having the ghost there because, again, the game, if I'm going to fault it for one thing, it doesn't really tell you a lot of stuff about the physics, how they work. That was really bad. And it doesn't teach you things like how to wall jump, things of that nature. But if you watch the ghosts, you can just kind of learn that just by going through. There's no way I'm dealing with a bronze. That's shameful. I forgot to do my little jump, but you learn all these little tricks, and you start edging just ahead of the ghosts, and it's pretty neat. And like I said, there's multiple paths often, and with experimentation or by watching the other ghosts, you often find the best one. This track is really throwing with my mind. My excuse, of course, is that I'm commentating while I do it. That's my story, and I'm going to stick to it. Now see, he gets way ahead of me there, which I'm trying to figure out. See, we're like exact on that one. And now I tend to be pretty good at the whole wall jumping aspect. Usually, a lot of times if I get behind the ghost, I can catch up there. Ghost is actually getting pretty tough. Usually I can beat Silver pretty easily, but today, okay, it looks like maybe we want to be on one of those lesser ones. Ah, it looks like being on the other one will be a little bit faster. That's why he's getting so far ahead of me. I'm taking the quote-unquote wrong path. And it might not even be the wrong path. There might be a more efficient way of doing it. I don't know. But this will probably be the last time we try it. We'll still keep getting beat by this guy, which is pretty shameful. But yeah, it's got a lot of cool stuff. Let's also just back out because I want to show you a few other things as well, because that's not all. There is multiplayer. I haven't done anything with this. You can create a server. I saw somebody had a server earlier. I just didn't hop into it. I don't really do the straight up multiplayer, but again, I love racing against your Steam friends and like trying to beat them, and then taking screenshots and then sending them messages with nasty things telling them how much better you are than they are. Just like, see, look at me beating Kart Gaming, brutally shameful. So you can see the leaderboards. You can see and the leaderboard seems to like tally up all the levels you've beaten and the total time you've won. So if you're into that, you can really fight and do all the levels trying to cut off seconds to get ahead in the leaderboards if you are down with that. They also have an in-game builder for the workshop levels. I haven't messed with that either because I'm not that creative with it, but it does have it in-game. You can also, and hopefully this shows up right. It should. I tested it beforehand, but you can browse the Steam workshops. Like, okay, let's see which one is what I don't have. I actually grabbed a few just as a test. So you can click on it. There'll be a little bit of description here. And you go, oh, okay, I'll subscribe to this. And that will grab it, and we'll shift tab to get out. And let's play workshop levels. Yeah, we have 3 levels. That's the one I just grabbed. So let's go ahead and play that one by Kakujo. I can't select it. Huh, I can't select that. Maybe it's still downloading. I don't know. Let's just do our personal best. And you still can race against the world champion, which is pretty neat. So this is a custom-made level. No personal best available. Yeah, because this is the first time I've played it. Whoa. This is a lot of floating around. Looks like there's multiple paths to take, which is cool. That's probably not the optimal one right there. Running into the thing. So yeah, this is definitely going to be one of those levels that you're going to have to take a little bit of time to learn. For the most part, I found the official levels so far haven't been bad about... Oh, whoa, okay. This is how we're supposed to go. Nice. Oh, God. Oh, wow. Okay, I don't know what I'm supposed to do there. Obviously, something different. Let's try one more time. I'm just trying to show you the fact that they're there. Pretty much for this first part, I'm just holding down this and it's butt sliding everywhere. I mean, that's the name of the game, right? Butt sliding. Well, that's the name that he put on there. Oh, here we go. There we go. Oh, God, no. Alright, that's enough of that stage, because it looks like you have to do it a very specific way to get past. So let's go back, and let's try, another workshop level. Henk. Oh, wait, no, this one was the bus sliding. Auto Henk Bud sliding. I still can't play that one for some reason. Maybe it takes a while? I don't know. I don't know why. Oh, this is another interesting area. That was almost certainly not optimal. Oh, God. Good thing she is a doll, because I just would have given her a horrendous concussion. I don't know why you'd want to go up there. That might give you more momentum. I'm not sure. Or it could just be there to trick you. Who knows? And also you can do things like jumping while you're doing those loop-de-loops, which will, again, give you a little bit of extra boost if you're going fast enough. like I say, there's a lot of little hit this and that. Wow. There we go. Oh god. Oh god. Seems like people really love this idea of if you screw up, having to drop back down and do earlier areas. Oh, there we go. Nope, come on. So it looks like we need to get up. There we go. And back over. Here we go. Yeah, I can imagine there's going to be some insane levels like there was. I didn't really play a lot of Trials, but I did watch Northern Lion play some of those insane user-made levels. And yeah, they were nuts. And you also can pick up, I know I've been restarting the level every time. You can restart at a checkpoint, but I just prefer to do it from the start. I don't know why I keep hitting that button. But we'll go back out of there. And let's check the options as we kind of wrap up here. Game options, you can reset your metadata. So, you know, if you, for some reason, just want to start from scratch, you can do so. Controller rumble, Steam notification settings. There's also built-in Twitch streaming, which I think is pretty darn cool. And I don't know how this works, but it says this feature is designed for Twitch streamers. Connect to your channel's chat and let viewers spawn their ghosts while you play the campaign. Now, I don't know how that works. Like, I don't know how they would spawn their ghosts in your game other than actually joining the game. But then again, that's just playing multiplayer at that point. So I'm not actually quite sure how that works. We got language. There's a few different languages here that you can pick from. And let's go with the audio. 2 audio options, one for music, one for sound. I've got the music at half right now. And video. Video actually has a pretty cool built-in FPS meter. As you can see, I have everything maxed. And I'm getting 80 frames per second. This game does run very well. I haven't had any frame rates or other technical issues with the game at all. Which, I mean, given the way it looks, that wouldn't expect it to. I guess you can see again, I've got like 80 frames per second. I've got a GTX 670. So I mean, definitely not not 670. Sorry, a 970. So I definitely got a pretty good card. But yeah, it shouldn't really bog down your machine, which is good because this is a very fast-paced type of game. And I do also really like, and I wish more developers would do this, tell you what every visual option does. I like that. I wish more people would do that. But anyway, yeah, that's Action Henk. Again, definitely not Action Hank. Totally different game. But you can pick up the base game for $14.99 from Steam. 2-pack for $24.99. Soundtrack edition for $19.99. On Steam, I will have relevant links in the description below the video if you want to go check it out. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you want to see more videos like this covering games you may or may not have heard of, make sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I already said that. Make sure to leave comments, and I'll see you next time.